Good morning. So, moin moin everyone. The usual gang is here right at the start. Good job, guys. So, qualifying, how's it looking? Ooh, 06. Two Rennhofers. That's fine. That's alright. How's it looking in fixed? Hello. Yeah, still same as yesterday. I might do some quali runs after the fixed races today. See if I can improve. Morning, Yuri. Last stream. Forever. 3.2k grid. Yeah. I think Ross is decent. Conrad is also in there. And it's raining again. Man, this 30% chance of rain is a higher percentage chance of rain than the 30% that Spa had. So yeah, 30% is not the same somehow. So, wet setup is on. Get warmed up. You know what? I'm gonna try higher wing. Do I? No, I'm not. Do I? I feel like Gustavo had a higher wing yesterday. Might as well give it a go, but I'm not entirely sure. I mean, that only gives me more understeer. Do I want that? Probably not. So I should go lower with the wing, maybe. Yeah, you just have to absolutely send it, drive hyper aggressive in the rain, and it's somehow quick, yeah. This corner is tricky though. If you miss the entry slightly and not take the curb on the inside, it's over. Morning, Tristan. Good morning, Alba. Okay, but the full lock thing doesn't really work for me too much. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to see the benefits of it. But I guess you want to get rotation in the rain, so you have to be aggressive on throttle to make the car step out a little bit on the rear. So I get it. Makes sense. Okay, I have the right setup, right? Yeah.
No sign of this rain stopping.
Fuel, brake bias,
You're on a wet tire.
wet tire, looking good, ready to go. See how fast the others are.
The estimated strength of field is 3,212.
Yeah, you kind of have to drive that way to feel out the grip and everything, otherwise you'd always drive under the grip limit. Humo, El Winkle. Früher Hase, was für ein Hase. Morgen, André. Ich bin zu früh für dich anscheinend. Opa. You know what Mariana pointed out this morning, Yuri? She said like yesterday in the chat you were starting every single message with Moritz. Moritz, comma, and then your message. Every single one apparently. She thought that was funny. Okay. Pretty much rally, yeah. Like you actually have to be hyper aggressive so the tires get some temperature and then basically take every curb you can. I mean, basically same as in real life, although in real life you would damage your car more than here. Okay, not like this. I'm still trying out some lines, but this was not it. But yeah, you kind of want to go onto the curb, that gives you grip. There was also some NLS race recently, I think it was, where Tim Heinemann basically did that. Just drive over every curb in the wet. Man, no man. Not even said the word a single time yesterday. Or have I? Maybe I talked more than I thought before what I talked about. But I'm pretty sure I did not accuse him of cheating or so. Sounded suspicious for sure, because I was suspicious, but that's about it. Oppa. Okay, on the GP track, I still haven't found the lines really. It will also be interesting to know when tire temperatures get too high. No idea when they are too high. Morning, Carl. Can you drive the inside here? Ah, probably not as fast. Nah, not as fast as the outside. No beef yet. The grass has a lot of traction actually in the with wet tires. But you just basically want to avoid the rubber line at any cost. If you can go over curbs like this, then that's good. See how much grip it has? It also completely slows you down. This is where the TC is a nice to have thing. It stops you from spinning out basically. This corner I still don't know how to take it really. But I guess that was not too bad actually. Yeah, rain races definitely are not so good for SR. Ultra wide. Spanien, ach, ja, da wäre ich jetzt auch gern. Wahrscheinlich mindestens mal 15 Grad. Würde ich nicht Nein zu sagen. Morning, slow and fast out. It also feels like it. The amount you have to steer all the time is quite crazy. 19 Grad, yeah, okay. Living the dream. Mr. Sixstar, good morning. Yo, Carl. Everyone waking up now. Yeah, taking all the curbs, not to avoid puddles, but to just avoid the normal racing line. They help you rotate the car through the corner. Where would you go at 5 AM in the morning? Restores and pool cleaning stuff. That opens at 5? Ah wait, you woke up at 5 and then probably went there at 6. Yeah, makes sense. Went to bed. You had a night shift, I guess? Or a fucked up sleep schedule? Both, okay. Well, yeah. I guess doing night shifts goes hand in hand with having a fucked up sleep schedule. How many off tracks do I have already? 9. What the fuck? We take all the track until the barrier. I'm gonna crash it in the last lap for sure. Trying to be Gustavo in the rain though, because apparently it works. But he does a better job at it. Always gotta try what the faster guys are doing. But is that just a Porsche Cup thing? Because I have not seen people drive the GT3s in the rain like that. I guess it's a Porsche Cup because the tires allow a bit more slip. No, at the moment no Rennsport. There's no events going on at the moment. Morning from the Netherlands. Good morning.
You won. You just toyed with these people today.
Where's the last place driver right now? Start of the lap, basically. Let's watch a bit. Yeah, we do 10, 11, three more races from now. I am 27 years old. No problem. Not everything I did was fast, I'm pretty sure. I tried a lot of lines myself. If they work, if they don't work. A lot of lines didn't really work too much, but I think most of it is decent right now. Like yesterday I wasn't too far away from Gustavo anymore, but yeah. 14, nah. I'm too old by now. I don't know, like, at first I was also driving very careful. Like, I was driving like in the dry, in the wet, and it's just not fast. Not with this car. I think with other cars it is. If you take GT3 for example, you probably have to drive the same way. But with the Porsche Cup you want to be... Yeah, you kind of want to just drive absolutely crazy. I mean, I also walled it almost a couple of times. I mean, okay, takes way too long to wait for the last driver to cross the line. Let's get used to dry driving again. What was the last race? 3.3 already. Oh wait, standings? Championship leader at the moment. No, as soon as you join the session, even before the race even starts, you can forfeit. That's what I'm doing, for example, to join qualifying sessions. So I join the race session, I immediately forfeit, sign up for the qualifying, and it works. It's just a bit annoying that iRacing hasn't like found a feature yet or changed the system that you don't have to click a big red button that tells you don't ever click this if you're in the race. Would be nice if you just could sign up for other races while you're still in a session, or at least like sign up for 2 sessions at a time. That would be a nice to have. Welche Setups benutze ich? Go-Setups. Findest du in der Videobeschreibung oder in der Livestream-Beschreibung. Erster Link. No, in IRL you also have to drive rather aggressive. That was also my problem IRL. In my first rain races, I was driving very smooth, very careful, and it just was slow. You also have to send it hard in the rain in real life. Take curbs you would never take in the dry, and just be very aggressive with your driving to look for the grip. So yeah, it is probably not as aggressive because in real life you cannot mount the curbs like you can on iRacing. You would basically kill the suspension. But yeah, you definitely have to be a bit more aggressive. I don't know, maybe I can find the video of Tim in NLS. He was doing rather the same thing. Vulcan. Rid of my Rain. How can I find this? Probably impossible to find. Maybe on Instagram? Let's see if I can find it. Nope, I cannot find it right now. What I was looking for. Anyways, kind of have to do that in the rain. Yeah, I only like the pickup. I don't like other cars on iRacing. They drive shit. Heute Abend viel schönes Kochen mit der Freundin und dann von der Bude aus Feuerwerk gucken. Haben eine gute Aussicht, würde ich sagen. They were fun before they also gave it the new tires. The new tires are also shit on the GT4s. I hate how they're driving now. Yeah, also GT3. I don't like anything on iRacing. It's just not really fun. Zero wing in the rain is not a good idea. Yeah, I had wing 4. But I'm not sure. I thought going lower with the wing is actually beneficial in the rain because you want to have a bit more rotation. But maybe 0 is a bit too low then. I loved GT4. I absolutely loved GT4 before they got the new tires. I mean, the tires were still not perfect, not great, but it got even worse now. Which is quite the shame. Yeah, but it's all about the tires. Tires are always limiting factor on iRacing. They just don't feel good. Not even that they not feel good, they also just act completely wrong and strange. I love the BMW, but basically only because I drove it in real life for so long. It's the old one. That's why I'm a BMW fanboy in the GT4 category. Porsche is also a great car. It's quite easy to drive. Yeah. The tire on iRacing is... iRacing would be the best sim closest to real life if they had a tire that is somewhat realistic, but the tire on iRacing is just... yeah. Not sure what they are doing, but it's anything but realistic. Yeah, I think they wanna get their naming right. Was probably a bit too confusing naming it GT3 when there was like a real GT3. Because I mean, this has, in terms of categorization in racing, the Cup Porsche obviously has nothing to do with a GT3. So I guess they just wanted to get the naming a bit less confusing. Confused with 992 and 911. I also don't know the exact like reasoning behind the names, but it's like I think 911 is the model, and then 992 is, yeah, what is it? I don't know. Any Porsche experts in here? Yeah, but I mean, yeah, everyone knows it as GT3 RS, at least the street version of the car. But they also changed the street version name. Production number, yeah, that was it. Only 911 RS, okay. Yeah, maybe they want to... yeah, I guess less confusion. and maybe bring back the name to Porsche more, because GT3 is not a Porsche name. It kind of was made a bit of a Porsche name. Wasn't the GT3 RS, and everyone knew it by that? But GT3 is like a racing category in the end. And I guess maybe they just wanted to bring the naming back to Porsche themselves. Or maybe there's licensing issues. Because, like, there's some real-life racing championships and stuff like that where, like, you're driving a GT4, but you're not allowed to officially call it a GT4 because you're not having the license for it or something like that. You know, I'm just rambling about it. I'm not sure how this actually all works, but maybe there has been some issue with the GT3 naming that they had to then at some point get rid of. Yeah, I think also in LLS they have the same issue with not being able to call it GT4. But there's other championships as well, but they're not allowed to do that. I think it was also in DTM Trophy where I drove. I think it was there actually that, like, the official, there was this GT4 European series along with the GT World Challenge and stuff like that. And that had the official GT4 name to it, as well as I think GT4 Germany. And DTM Trophy, I think, was not allowed to, like, officially by documents and all of that call their cars GT4 cars. They were DTM Trophy cars. But don't quote me on that, I'm not entirely sure anymore. But I like, in the back of my head I have like something that I still remember about that. It could be that, Elana, but I'm not 100% sure how it works. Because also at the Nürburgring Championship, it's like they have to change the GT3s, I think, a bit. They have to make it higher, they have to make this and that to be able to drive it there. There's some more regulations, and maybe because of that they have to rename it a bit. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe ChatGPT could give a quick answer. But it's just what I still have somewhere in my brain that I can remember, but I'm not sure if it's like 100% like that. Yeah, I think also, even though every championship runs GT3 nowadays, they're quite different. I think in WEC, they have a lot less downforce. I think I'm not sure, but they got rid of some parts of the cars, I think, that give them a little less downforce. Or maybe something that gives them less mechanical grip. And then other championships have a bit more. But it's also just stuff that I heard and picked up from somewhere, but never officially read it anywhere. And that's probably also the reason why WEC calls it LMGT3 instead of just GT3. I mean, it might be just to have their naming on their classes of the championship, but could also be that they're not allowed to call it just base GT3 if they have some different regulations in there. But it would be an interesting read if there are some documents or like news or articles about that. Airflow restrictors. Ah, okay. IMSA also uses LMGT3 now, okay. Yeah, then IMSA, I guess, is adapting the same regulations that WEC has. Pick up a drink is making me think about renewing my sub. Do it. You can just do a 1 month sub. Shouldn't be a big problem. Which bass and pedals you use? VRS bass, Mozart pedals. Mozart CSR-P2. I was at Le Mans a few years ago and met the head scrutineer of Mosport. I'll send a message to her if she knows something interesting to know. Yeah, let us know if you know, if you find out something. Okay, 1 minute and session start, 200 signups. Let's see who's up that, well, it's not that early anymore, but see who's driving. And I have to remember to sign up for qualifying. Have you tried out SimoCube Active Pedals? I tried it, what was it, 2 years ago at the Sim Expo? But I tried it with ACC, and I think in that game you don't really want to have it, but on iRacing I think it's quite beneficial. Are you going to race IRL this year? This year? Next year. Plans, there are plans, but it's just plans. I'm not counting on it, but maybe. Even if it's maybe just one race, I would love to do that. Plan is to do something at the Nordschleife. Quitting streaming till next year. The good old jokes. Yeah. Torque sensors, but mainly all GT3 are the same. Yeah, it's like the base is the same, I guess, but then there are small differences between the championships. Surprised about the pedals. Based on reviews, I got the impression those aren't that good, but 10K says otherwise. I mean, in the end, if you get used to pedals, they're all the same. They break. That's what they have to do. If you adjust your driving yourself to it, then all pedals are fine. But I like them actually. Like I had the VRS before, and for me, there's no big difference. I actually like them a bit more in the feeling than Mozart pedals. The Team Trophy was epic to watch. It needed a bit more cars, I feel like, to be really exciting because the field sometimes got a bit too much spread out. But overall, it was a very exciting championship because it's the only GT4 championship where you do not share cars, which I always liked. Ooh, okay, we have a good grid. Yep, I have those. So, someone mentioned to me that Grid and Go data packs, they brake heavily into the ABS in hard braking zones with this car. It's something I might have to try. Maybe it's just for a qualifying lap. Yeah, I mean, you can basically drive any set of pedals nowadays. They're all good. You order 2 active pedals? Nah, too expensive. But I would love to try how it could benefit in iRacing. I'm not so sure though if it can benefit a whole lot, but I guess it can give you a better idea of ABS use or not use of the ABS. I mean, they would only be worth it, I guess, in the top leagues. If it really gives you an advantage anywhere, just by knowing where the ABS is in any given moment, for esports it might be worth it. But I think for casual driving, not so much. Only if you really want to entertain yourself with pedals that also give you a feel for ABS and stuff like that, but yeah. Right now they're still too expensive in my opinion to really do that. Unless you have the money, then yeah, go for it, but yeah. I used the GT3 spec elastomers, not the springs. Kommt drauf an, mit was du Schwierigkeiten hast. Ohne zu wissen, welche Schwierigkeiten du hast, ist es schwer zu sagen oder ist es schwer, Tipps zu geben. Enjoy watching the stream. Thank you very much, I appreciate it. So let's see if Niklas has figured out his start today. But he has gotten better at it, even yesterday. Just bought a G9 monitor for Christmas. Do you mind to share your screen settings? I don't have screen settings. I turned it on and used it. I'll only get it for the brake, so I don't have to change brake feel manually when I switch between cars, but I don't even drive much outside pickup right now anyways. Yeah, that's also the only thing I thought about. For the brake, obviously you don't need it for the throttle. Unless of what we've seen yesterday. But who knows? But yeah, I would also only get the brake, but I don't think I would ever do that. Unless I get it sponsored or so. I have ultra wide, yeah. Got on just because I was tired of elastomers wearing down. Yeah, fair. Well, I was using triple like 4 years ago. No, 3 years ago. Changed quite a long time ago. But yeah, I was using triple before. Mainly because of Rennsport, because we used those monitors in offline events. So for me, it was good to practice with. But yeah, now I don't feel like the need to have a triple screen anymore. I have better PC performance like that. Takes less space. And basically has the same purpose. You see a little less on the sides if you're side by side, yeah. You wouldn't go back to triples? Maybe if I mainly did iRacing and iRacing only competitively, then yeah,
Field is 4,500.
maybe. But yeah, no. At the moment, not. Only if I would do iRacing only competitively, then I would go back to triple screen because iRacing doesn't have a radar. But otherwise, not really. Drehst dich oft am Entry. Würde ich fast sagen, dass du zu schnell in die Kurve reinfährst. Versuch ein bisschen weniger Speed in die Kurve zu nehmen. Und das Wichtigste ist dann, Bremse noch ein bisschen zu halten und langsam reinzulenken. Nicht versuchen, schnell zu lenken und den Grip zu finden. Bremse lang ziehen und langsam in die Kurve lenken. Und dann würdest du nicht mehr so schnell spinnen. Okay, time to lock in and not let Niklas drive away. No, iRacing doesn't have an overlay, also not third party. There is radars, but they're not real radars. They just really show you how far in front or behind someone is, but not how close they are next to you, which is what I would love to have. But iRacing doesn't give out that information through their API. Stupid fucking Flugplatz. Same, best track. Always fun to drive here. Doesn't matter which cars. Ooh, I like those rumors. If that's the case, then no, I would never get triple screen anymore. But yeah, that would be great if they did this. Ich fahre jetzt BB auf 50,5, also weiter vorne. Niklas fährt genau dasselbe, deswegen bin ich es am Ausprobieren. Hit. I was a bit too fast in. I might have lost it right here. Okay. No chat reading for the last half of the track. I have to full send it and close the gap. He's sending it better than I do. That was full risk, full ascent. Could have very well crashed again here. Okay, 1-4. One, 3. 2. I think I should be good. I should be back in draft now if nothing goes wrong. Okay, that was important. Still need to figure out a little bit in my driving. There's just something small I'm missing. So they're always driving away from me. Oh, I forgot to register for the qualifying. RIP. Okay, I need someone to log into my account. Email is and password is. Do I have someone specific to coach? To coach me, you mean? Mostly teammates. Or just other streamers. Sign him up for crosscar. Sounds about right, Carl. You have to keep it simple to always remember. No, when I know I'm missing some pace, it's either teammates that can help or, like for example here, Porsche Cup, I'm watching some streams or just a replay of how other people are driving, what they're doing. And I try to learn from that. But yeah, there's something I still haven't figured out in my driving style that I'm missing for this, or basically on iRacing. I don't know if I'm maybe steering too much still. Let's just crank up the force feedback by 1, because I see a lot of iRacing drivers always have the force feedback high. Let's go 1, oh, wait for the straight. 1 click higher force feedback. See what happens. Because maybe I'm steering too much and more force feedback will help. I usually use around 30% of my 20 Newton meter base. That's what I have in most games, around there. Lift. Good. Let's do it once again. No, I don't like long races too much, especially not in iRacing. Nope, I don't have a wind widget, so not taking wind into consideration. Big setup is swing 6. No, Spa's fixed setup was wing 8, I think. Hey, finally someone else has a mistake, not just me. What you see, Niklas needs 1 I rating for 8k. He'll for sure get at this race. Einfach viele Off-Tracks. Ich hätte in Spa letzte Woche auch auf B fallen können. Okay, I have an idea. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, idea might work. But he was usually faster here than I was. Okay, full send activated. Ah, he's on it. Unfortunate. Is 07 enough? Oh, it's not enough. It's not enough at all. Fuck. Man! Tiny bit. Yeah, my strat was either make it like that, but I think I probably would have needed 0.05 more at the start of the lap, or lift a little bit, just about going onto the straight. That he passes me quite early and I can repass, but I thought I could get him. Unfortunate once again. No, iRacing doesn't have radar. GG's, Niklas. I really thought I might have it. But yeah, 0-7 is not enough. Engine shuts off after the braking? Did you maybe jump or hit a bump in a strange way? Or shifted down braking into a bump or something like that? Yeah, Niklas owns me this week, unfortunately. The banking, so the carousel. But the engine shouldn't turn off there. Or did you maybe do, did you maybe downshift while jumping? Yeah, it's hard to gain anything, for sure. +9. I mean, I have to wait for a bit higher strengths of fields, although 4.5 is not bad. But yeah, basically at this rating you have to win to gain anything significant. But Niklas is at 8k now. Congrats. I mean, Niklas is farming this week. If Niklas plays it well, he could be 9k by... I mean, I'm not sure how much he drives today, but today and tomorrow he could reach maybe 9k if he does giga farming. Niklas, are you one of those Nordschleife Nürburgring only drivers? Because I don't think I've seen you race anywhere else. Doing leagues, okay. Want to see Heidi pace? Heidi did qualifyings earlier, yesterday, and he was like he didn't finish a single lap, I think. Never officials, okay. Hmm. Has there ever been a dry race? 8:22. It's almost dry, I would say. Maybe it is dry with slow drivers. 8:07, dry. Wet. Dry. Dry. So it is dry a lot of times, but I haven't not had a single dry race. This was wet, 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 dry. Yeah, it's mostly just wet. Yeah, 25% is 100% on a Nordschleife. Let's see, practice server is gonna be wet as well. You know all the corner names? No. I know the big ones, the important corners and names I know, yeah, but not everything. That would be too much to know. But just looking at the names, I would say I probably know about half of them. Yeah, probably half of them. Yeah, it's from the GP track. You have to know the Nordschleife corners. Those are the better ones. 8 seconds is not too much for no practice, to be honest. So this server is almost dry. Few wet patches. Helps to be German? Yeah, for sure. A lot of those names are hard to pronounce, I guess. For the NERB license, do you have to learn the names? No, prefer not. Moin, Adrian. You're back for fixed? Yeah, see you later. The next fix is gonna be my last race of today. Then I have to go shopping and do some normal real-life things. That would be a bit much, yeah. Because I would say you should be concentrating on driving and not naming the right corner names. I guess we drive dry setup.
You're on a dry tire.
Normal human stuff, exactly. I mean, I have thought of it, but it's unrealistic to go full content creation in sim racing. Yeah, you need lots of views. I think you need around... You need at least 800 subs every single month. To even consider it, doing it full time. So yeah. Give me some subs, then I can do it. But no, it's insane. Like, you have to be quite big, and sim racing is not that big that you could do it full time. Like, Pablo is streaming since years and years, is the, I would say, most well-known streamer in this space. And yeah, even he cannot do it full time, not even close. So yeah, a proper esports contract definitely pays you more than content creation could do. You can always do it on the side. I didn't get how Lasse got to 800 though. How did that happen? Because like one day earlier, I was watching him, he had like 300 and all of a sudden 800? How does that work? Christmas miracle, yeah. But no, you need 100 subs and you need to have them every single month. Otherwise it's not possible. Sponsors for content creation, yeah. That's one thing that could help as well, for sure. But you need to be really big and well known, I guess, to really get those like big sponsors that pay you well in order to do it, as I said, what you wanted to do full time. Oh no, copy pasta. No. How do those esports contracts pay? There's not that many competitions, right? Yeah. That's the big problem right now. That's why you see so many professional sim racing drivers struggling right now, because after COVID, everything went crazy big. Everyone got involved, much money. Like us esports drivers got paid decent money, I would say. But now it's all crashing down. There's not that much championships anymore, not that much interest at all. I mean, everyone could see it. Everyone who's watching some esports broadcasts of sim racing doesn't have the viewers it needs to survive or to be a good ecosystem. So that's why a lot of drivers or teams also, like Virtus Pro, basically kicked out their drivers the other day. And some other teams do as well. So it's a very tough time right now to be in this area of sim racing. Sign up for quali depends. The problem is, well, I can sign up in 15 minutes for quali. Not sure if I want to do quali though. I might do open quali. If it's dry, if the race is dry, I'm gonna sign up for open quali. Would be a nice question here with 200 people watching. What esports sim racing event would you love to watch? I asked this the other day as well. Why a lot of like sim racers, why it is that esports is not that interesting for a lot of people. Because I would say iRacing has a huge player base that would support at least 1,000 to 3,000 people watching the esports events. But they're just not. Farbige Inputgraphen sind doch farbig. Oder bist du farbenblind? The live telemetry graph is cups. I know I've never played FPS games. Well, I played them, but not for more than 2 weeks. Who do I look alike then? Happy New Year's, Jake. Have a good one. Just because people like to play more than watch the games. Yeah, but I feel like sim racing is literally the only game and platform where people don't like to watch the esports part. Or does it have to be a lot bigger? Yeah, I mean, any other game has a way bigger player base. Although iRacing has a huge player base, but I guess it's still nothing compared to, yeah, like even FIFA or anything like that. They are probably like 10 times bigger or even more. Yeah, F1 esports was really big. That's why I don't get why they don't do Formula 1 esports right now. It seems like they're struggling as well to keep it going. My theory is that sim racing is a do-it-yourself hobby more than a also watch it hobby with other esport games. Yeah, it's true. Kind of could be. Compared to mainstream games, it's tinier. Yeah, I mean, if you look at iRacing right now, let's see. Right now there are what game? Let's say 11,000 people online within iRacing. 11,000. DS Steam stats. Just as a reference, Counter-Strike has 1 million playing right now. Yeah, and that's just where the difference is. So you have 1 million people playing Counter-Strike right now, and with like a good broadcast, they have like, what, 60k viewers. A good esports broadcast. Maybe not the final, 60k viewers. we have 10,000 online right now, and on a good day we have, let's say, 600 viewers. So I guess the ratio checks out. Yeah, the numbers add up. It completely adds up. I mean, you do have some, like Pesk, for example, sometimes reached 2,000, 3,000, I think, organic viewers, which then is quite a lot, I would say. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a shame, to be honest. Obviously, I'm saying that because I'm in the scene. I would love for it to grow a bit bigger. Not only for us esports drivers, but I feel like also for literally everyone else doing iRacing or doing sim racing. It would be nice to have like a really big, flourishing esports scene. But yeah, that's what we talked about the other day on stream, also with XQC, is that it's just not accessible at all, the sim racing. It's hard to understand, almost impossible to understand. Like you watch CSGO and you know one team has to kill the other to win, basically. In racing, you watch it and like, okay, you have to win the race, you have to be first. But there's somehow a lot of times a lot of variables that play into it to sometimes not understand, or it's sometimes very hard to understand everything and why someone doesn't overtake now. Because do you have that in CS that where there's sometimes like a moment where someone doesn't kill the other one on site? I guess when you want to knife them, you sneak up on them and don't immediately kill them with the gun. But in racing, you sometimes have like a 30-minute race where P2 doesn't overtake P1, just like here on the Nordschleife. Who would understand, who's not fully into racing, that here on the Nordschleife I'm gonna stay behind the other car for 2 laps and draft him, push him, to then only overtake in the last lap? The most basic casual viewer would never understand why I'm doing that, and I think that's why it's sometimes hard to understand for people and hard to know what's actually going on, and probably that's why it's at some points not as engaging. And I mean, I guess the biggest problem really is with esports is that it's too boring to watch. A lot of times there's nothing happening on track because everyone has the same speed. So there's almost no overtakes, no strategy, especially on iRacing. So yeah, that's, I guess, boring part. The only interesting thing was F1 esports with different tires, different strategies you could run. You have the DRS helping a bit with moves and stuff. I would love to see a championship like DTM in real life in sim racing, where you have to do at least one pit stop, and then you have like insanely, like LMU has. LMU would be prime for that. You have like a 60-minute race, have 1 or 2 pit stops, and at the pit stop you have to take new tires that are completely cold. So that mixes things up because you maybe you pit early, but then you will be overtaken by a lot of guys who pit later because you have to do a couple of laps with cold tires, and then you have to overtake them again while they are on cold tires, and vice versa. That would make things interesting. But on iRacing, you usually esports have sprint races, no pit stops, no nothing, no overtakes. I mean, Rennsport ESLR1 is exactly the same. Absolutely nothing is happening there. You just need more strategy, more excitement in there, and that's probably why for most people it's too boring. I also don't get why broadcasts show cinematic cameras 90% of the time. Watching someone's POV is so much more engaging. I also don't understand that. Because it has to be like real life racing. We can only do TV cameras and the onboard cameras that are there in real life. Why don't we use the chase cam in esports broadcasts sometimes? Like for a qualifying lap or whatever, like when you watch Trackmania, you're in chase cam and you can exactly see where someone positions the car and whatnot. Why don't we use the chase cam in esports broadcasts? That would, I don't know, make things a bit more engaging, and don't make it exactly like real life. Gamify it. But then again, I think most sim racers are in that mindset of it has to be like real life, otherwise I don't like it. Probably a lot of you guys are thinking exactly that. Needs to be exactly like real life, otherwise I wouldn't even do this. But yeah, I don't know. It's the same topic and same talking over and over again. In the end, we're just missing the player numbers to support esports, I think. But also, I feel like organizations are not trying enough to make it exciting, the racing. Also, there's many races in esports where we are required to use webcams. But you watch those races and they use one webcam, maybe two webcams in a 40-minute race. Bro, always have it on. Always show the drivers. You have those cameras. That's what people want to see. They want to see the drivers, how they look, how they react to moves, whatever. I feel like they all have these tools, but those tools are not used to make good content, good broadcasts. But yeah, again, biggest problem is the player base. That we are just too small. Yeah. If you DTM, arguably the best GT3 championship there is, has what? I think 5,000 peak viewers. So if they can't even do it, how can we? But I mean, the whole concept of sim racing is big, because if you watch YouTube, if you are there, content and stuff is huge. Like some numbers are insanely high. So the interest is there, and there's a lot of people there to watch it. Couldn't you apply for being community manager for a series on iRacing? Someone pays me to do that? Then yeah. Too expensive to get into sim racing, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess you need all the drivers to start doing more social media. Like for example, if I continued my streaming for a long time and I get like a good audience, then a lot of you guys would watch the official broadcast then. And even just from my, let's say, 10,000 followers, 100 people will watch the esports broadcast. If every driver had that, then you would have a bit of a bigger numbers, but not all of the drivers or a lot of the drivers are big into social media. So, session is about to start. Talking session is over. We go racing again. Yeah, also the broadcasts kind of need more information. Broadcasts need information. How much fuel exactly does everyone have? Maybe how much tire percentage everyone has, and all of that stuff they could put into broadcast, and then for the viewer it's easier to understand, okay, why is this guy faster now than the other guy? 100 people more would already be 100% increase most of the time. Yeah. Very true. Yeah, I don't know, let's see. I'm curious with Le Mans Virtual Series next year, how that will be. But literally, I give the professional esports thing within sim racing, I give it 1 more year. And if the scene doesn't improve or change a whole lot, then I think it's completely over. You will probably still have those small DTM esports championships on Race Room and maybe a PESC running, but that's about it. I think you will not see anything big anymore in sim racing. I think the time is over. If it doesn't change, if it doesn't do a big turnaround next year, then I think it's completely over. Well, yeah, the big race was a disaster because of the issues there were. But the championship itself was, I think, quite a success and quite a great championship. Yeah, eNASCAR is the only thing because it gets pushed a lot by NASCAR themselves, and they try literally everything possible to make it exciting and engaging. I don't know, maybe it's the Americans that really know how to make stuff entertaining, and us Europeans are just, I don't know, lacking this understanding of how do we make it entertaining for most of the people. It is pouring. Yeah, even Formula 1 doesn't give a shit about their esports series anymore. And the teams don't as well. Like Mercedes was huge in sim racing, right? They tried to push sim racing a lot with Jarno and all of those people in the team. And now I think, wasn't Mercedes now the first team to pull out of F1 esports? I think I read something that Mercedes completely pulled out of F1 esports. So it's also not really looking healthy for F1 esports as a whole. Like, very unhealthy, actually. I mean, I don't really feel like there was a downfall. It still had shit ton amount of viewers and people being interested and engaged in it. So I don't really understand. Well, ESL. ESL got their fucking hands on F1 esports as well, and then from there it completely went downhill. I don't know what the fuck they are doing, but as soon as they got bought the product, it completely died down.
It looks like you've got some engine trouble. You've probably lost power.
I don't think I ever had that much rain. Can I never get a single dry race here? I always just get monsoon rains. Moin Max. And the grass is hyper grip. I mean, the whole esports business is about mostly losing money. I think probably Counter-Strike is the only ecosystem that where you can actually get money out of it. Although not really. But you can make some money for sure. But you just need people to love the sport and invest in it. But yeah, sim racing definitely just writes bigger red numbers, most likely. Or there's too much of a percentage difference between the red and the green numbers. Okay, this is very wet. Yeah, same with real life motorsports. Same with any kind of big sport, I would say. Like when all those football clubs buy players for 100 million or more, of course at the end of the day you will not have a green number there on your table, I think. You just need those investors who just say like, hey, I love it, take this money and do fun stuff with it. Not only single seaters, only like if you want to go into karting. Need millionaire parents.
No sign of this rain stopping.
I would say there's probably not even 100 real life drivers as well that get paid for doing it.
The estimated SOF is 3,682.
Yeah, it's true. Teams own stadiums with which they can make money. In motorsports, it's just not like that. The organizations have to rent those tracks and pay money to drive there and then make at least a little bit of money through tickets. Yeah, I guess the whole concept of racing in general, not only esports or sim racing, is kind of a hard thing to really keep afloat. Yeah, and there are people that can easily afford it. They could afford it like 10 times. I also have to say I was insanely fortunate to be able to have done what I did in real life racing. Just thinking about it is still absolutely crazy, and when I watch those broadcasts, see me in this real car, I cannot believe that it like actually happened, that I did this. Because of just knowing how hard it is to get there, how much money it costs and everything. Fucking insane business. It's a stupid fucking sport that is so much fun, so great, but absolutely inaccessible. And it is probably the only sport where... Okay, is there any other sport where talent doesn't get you anywhere? Like, of course, if you have both money and talent, yeah, great. But imagine how many more talented drivers there would be out there that just don't have the financial means to do it. Because you would never know, maybe there's people out there that are even a second faster than Max is in Formula 1. They would just never have the opportunity to get to do it. I mean, maybe not Max. I think Max really is, in my opinion, the best racer there has ever been, probably. Like, he has the financial backing, or had the financial backing. And he also has the 100% talent for it. But I am 100% certain that there's a lot more other people like him out there that just never get the opportunity to do motorsports racing in real life. Yeah, sailing, I guess. Boat is not that cheap as well. collecting off tracks for fun. Okay, Maxime is not too bad. He's also sending it quite well. Yeah. Damn it, didn't work. I mean, everyone has to buy their way into it. At some point you get paid, yeah. You're really lucky and successful, but to get there you have to spend millions and millions. Well, like everything in this world, everything gets more expensive, so I doubt it will get any cheaper. Well, even if you're a millionaire, I think just a millionaire, it's still expensive. Because let's say you're just a millionaire, then going racing costs 30% of what you own. So yeah, even for a millionaire nowadays, it's quite expensive. I like the UK in terms of motorsports, because a friend of mine, I mean maybe some people know it, Will Tregurtha, for example, he always showed me like what's possible in the UK. Because I feel like in the UK you have a lot of championships that require like a gentleman driver paired with a pro driver basically. And at the very least, as a good racing driver, if you don't have that fully financial support in your bank account, you at least have all those gentleman drivers who need and want a good driver on their car. And that's what I love about UK championships, is because if you are just a really good driver and you, I mean, know a few people, you have a much greater chance at actually getting a drive for free, or maybe even pay it with a gentleman driver in those championships. You actually have political support? Okay, yeah, Germany doesn't really have that. Like you don't have any kind of support for anything here in Germany. That is fun. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it does help you a little bit, this motorsport team Germany, but yeah, it's also you have to buy in. Also well, for me, what was crazy is when I was at the FIA Motorsport Games, where you know every nation gets invited to do those motorsports disciplines. I came there as an esports driver being paid to drive, and like I was complaining that only part of my expenses, travel expenses, were covered. Like, what the fuck? You're not paying my flights 100%? You're not paying the taxi rides into the city every single day 100%? And then I was talking to all the like German teams participating for Germany in that event. I had to bring like, I don't know, 200k to drive here, and then I was shutting up real quick. I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, it's a real life motorsports organization. They don't have much to do with esports. I maybe should not complain as much of not being paid to do this whole gig here, you know? And also talking to all those people there, they were like, yeah, I have to pay this and that every single season, this and that, and you? And I was like, well, I'm getting paid for driving this. And yeah, they were supported, I don't know, let's say a few thousands maybe for travel costs and that. Of course, Team Germany supported a little bit there, but only like a few thousand, let's say. So you pay not only just for starting there, running your cars and stuff, but also transporting it into a whole different country. You pay like, I don't know, 200, 300k for that, and you get back, what, 10k? Great. Yeah, the whole business of motorsports is just screwed. he will probably overtake, which I don't like going into the last lap. Nur open ist Regen. Oh, okay. Getting a push. I mean, it's part of the reason why you don't see any kind of German drivers in these big leagues anymore, right? Is there any interesting German drivers in like Formula 3, Formula 2 that you could see at least in a few years are like on top of in the top in F1? There were a lot back in the days. Nowadays, not a single one. Or maybe just one, I don't know. MX-5 Super Cup. Do we have something like that in Europe? I only know MX-5s in America. Oh no. It's the best series you can imagine, driving on Daytona. In the UK, okay. Okay, time to log in, get back P1. Oppa! Problem is he has a bit. I don't think. He said earlier he had wing 0 or so. So with my higher wing, it might be a bit more difficult to overtake. But let's see. Just have to stay close. Okay, that was a good send. Secure P1. Maybe it will be free at some point when our brains can be loaded into a virtual world, and then we can drive cars for sure. 1.2, 1.1. Yeah, should be at 1.0. But he definitely has lower wing. Nice.
that's bothered to show up.
Wi-Fi acting up. GG Max. You pushed me quite a lot there. Thought I could take it a bit easier, but no. But it's crazy intense because at some points you're being quicker, you find the better lines, and other points I find the better lines. Very, very tricky. We own Max and Niklas owns us. Safety hit? Yeah, whatever. Where's last place currently? Long way to go. Oh, guy is not in there anymore. Alright. Quick toilet break. back. Eieiei. Momentan, wie ich im Regen fahren soll. Allgemein sehr aggressiv und viele Curbs mitnehmen. Eieiei. Do you delay your brake input until your throttle is full off? My tracers always overlap. I think on iRacing it should be the fastest to not overlap at all, but I still do it sometimes. Because I'm still so used to other sims where you just want to go on the brake as fast as possible, even though you still have a little bit of overlap. But I think on iRacing in general you want to try to avoid that overlap. Not so sure with the Porsche Cup, since the Porsche Cup behaves a little different. But generally, I mean, in general, you want to be off the throttle as quick as possible and then on the brakes as quick as possible. In general, on iRacing, you want to go slowly, ease into the brakes, but try to not have overlap. Okay. All gains today. 8. Yeah, 998 so far. Roblox is huge. Isn't it like also the biggest game? Most players? Safety rating is saying goodbye. NTM V10 in 2026. Yeah, I mean the GTP will get new tires. I think tires. But yeah, I think we will have to wait a long time until we have actual proper tires because I think the next version of the tires are still gonna be shit because they can't seem to go away from their system they have. Not really too good. Yeah, then you would never have delay. But then I think the difference between going off and on the brakes is too timed like that. But yeah, you can think about it like that. Practice the braking on iRacing. Might be limited by physics engine itself. Yeah. Could be. If you have a map on Roblox, I watched some videos about that. If you have a map and a lot of players playing, give you so much money, it's insane. Maybe I have to join some. There's for sure some car racing going on Roblox, right? I have to join some Roblox servers and do some races. Then do Roblox coaching sessions. iRacing in Roblox. Same with CS skins. Your early years of sim or real racing, did you ever study theory of racing to get fast on course by Sueli? I mean, no. Never. Time to stream Roblox. See, do you find anything on the internet when you search for iRacing, Roblox iRacing? I think I saw one video once. iRacing. This Roblox racing game is working. Moin David. Really? What's it called? I wanna... Wait, even back then? Wait, how old are you now though? Like, how long ago was that? Roblox realistic racing game. 4 years ago. You're 14. Whoosh. Also still a baby. Top 5 most realistic Roblox car games 2025. Wait. Why does this change all the time? So. Miguel, thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate it a lot. Let's see how realistic they are.
Games on Roblox in 2025, but before we do that, make sure to subscribe and drop a like on this video. But without further ado, let's get realism is insane on this game. I didn't even know Roblox games were capable of looking this good, but holy crap, look at this one.
I mean, the driving looks fucking awful.
A little bit different right here. Yep, there's a kind of a new environment. We got a bit more rock. You can tell the map, the lighting
car zone
looks pretty good, and
but this is just like open world. Is there like actual racing games?
But the game is still. This is not real, dude. Holy crap! And that's gonna be in.
What was the one called you were driving? Better graphics than iRacing.
First place for the most realistic game on this video. Actually sold off the.
Watch this.
Through my many years of sim racing, I've
That's
never
Race
seen
Room.
anything quite as strange as this. Upon seeing Andrew Vasquez's video on playing Roblox with a Formula 1 wheel, I discovered a huge demand for Roblox sim racing videos on YouTube. This led me to discover that there is a huge Roblox sim racing community. You can find everything from League Racing to Discord servers.
I don't know what
As
this
I try
is.
these games out for myself, I'll be finding the answer to
Or was this also Roblox? No, this is Race
Formula
Room.
1 wheel. I discovered a huge demand for Roblox sim racing videos on YouTube. This led me to discover that there is a huge Roblox sim racing community. You can find everything from League Racing to Discord servers. As I try these games out for myself, I'll be finding the answer to the question of, is Roblox sim racing just some weird thing for 9-year-olds like most things on Roblox, or does it actually have some merit behind it? But first, a message from our sponsor, Cartless. Let's get back to the video.
Don't care.
So this is probably my first time on Roblox in years now. So the first thing that pops up here is
NASCAR.
23, the sim. Are those blocks as startup screen? Can I? Oh, Daytona Duels.
Costs 50 Robux. How much is that? Is that like 1-to-1 real life money?
Am I supposed to be?
Bro
able to,
Sim.
like,
Ah, I
spawn a
saw
car
that.
or
I think I saw
something?
it on X. Yeah.
Screw it. So, that wasn't very
Traces more
conclusive
participation.
At all. I'm not sure.
It's
what
getting
I was
better now
supposed
over
to
the
do in
day, I
the
guess.
game whatsoever. It was very confusing. I don't know if I could really race in it.
Come on, show me something good.
This is the first this time.
What is that? Project
Project
Track Day.
This is actually cool. This looks like a AAA game.
500 is $5.
Ooh. Ferretti? Interesting. Oh, this looks nice. Oh, okay, we're in the car. Our head's sticking out of the top of it. Weirdly good graphics. Alright. So it's feeling
This doesn't
half
look bad.
decent.
Can you drive it with a
And
steering
like
wheel?
whoa.
Whoa, holy
like,
shit, this looks like hyper
Oh,
grip.
I'm sliding a little bit too. I have to
Wheel
kinda
works with for
save
seat
the car
back.
and exit there. We're changing gears and everything.
Imagine we go for
Nice shading too. This looks like a
some
well, some parts of it.
I don't know,
look
time
half
trial
decent
hunting
in
on
terms of
Roblox.
graphics. Oh, and we've just overshot a corner in Roblox. That's great. Oh, we almost spun. We almost spun again. We do have to save the car a little bit. It's really easy to do, which so I clicked.
What's next?
Really lose traction at all. There's a damage system, but it's not activating for me. Let's see. Okay, the
What was the other game called? Rosim. This one, I guess.
Low. However, there is a bit of a catch. This game costs 150 Robux to play. Though by the end of this video, I hope I would have convinced you snappy. I mean, granted, too, it's just kind of, this car's kind of weird to drive. I mean, it's a Porsche. So if anyone
This
that
looks
knows
pretty
how
good.
Porsches drive in a lot of simulators, or hell, if you got lucky and got to drive one IRL, you know, it's
It was 4 months ago, 3 months ago, 1 month ago. I think it's a trailer I saw on Twitter. Okay, maybe we have to check out some Roblox racing at some point. Okay, all this talking and I have not done a single lap to prepare my dry driving. Didn't like some streamer, some iRacing streamer try that? Was it Lasse maybe who tried to drive it on stream? Want me to send you hot? Yeah, send a hot lap. I wanna see. Lion doesn't need practice. True. It probably has better netcode than iRacing, 100%. I mean, I have 7 minutes of warm-up, right? Easy. Okay, let's see. What is medal.tv? Should I click on that? Like a Roblox YouTube? What is this view? Well, this looks good. The car behavior looks really good. Big cent. Okay. Grass doesn't slow you down. The car looks a bit slow, right? On the straights or on power. I mean, yeah, with VR it's probably not the best. That looks fun. That looks like fun. It already looks like a good lap. Not sure how much I could improve on that. Yeah, I mean, but does it have off tracks? Because otherwise you could use a lot more, right? There's off tracks, okay. Yeah, okay. Probably white line then. So one tire still has to be within curb or white line. Well, that's fun. So we have 350 signups. Not too bad for 11 AM. Tester and give feedback. Yeah. I get a percentage. Here where I dominated my first league race. Wait, there's league races on there.
Pass as well.
Honestly.
Pass. It's called
What
Void
is
P3.
that? Dude, the whole IMSA overlay.
No, glass is just hell. Alright, there's Finn. Who's next in the order?
The commentary is peak.
Next is Cola. Dude, if you give... Oh my god, I swear to god. This is stupid. Cola P5. Yes.
Wait. Need to join my session time. There we go.
Jelly on lap.
Looks like Oscher's Leben.
Jelly on lap.
On debut I was cooking. Wait, who are you? I don't see your name.
No, Cola.
Ah, here.
Everyone has TT,
Ah, okay,
so
but
it's
you
just
were
nice to
you were the only hypercar, I
No,
guess, no?
Scroll, so I know who's next after Cola. After Cola is Lukey. I think it's Lukey.
Quite soft, yeah.
It's Lukey.
Almost like biking gloves.
No, you don't have to unlap yourself. We're gonna change all laps, so stay with. You're behind Green Eye. I mean Cola. You're behind Cola, Lukey. The pursuit. What is the?
That's the funniest thing I heard today. Dominated my first league race on Roblox. Okay, who do we have? E2. Oh, not too bad. What's the soft? Also did some Fortnite, but I won't show you that. It's quite cringe. Hey. It's Puma, yeah. Puma made them once for BMW to use, because it's like official BMW gloves. Yeah, if RoSim gets good, then we have to move sim racing to Roblox and the esports part as well. No, this is my last race for today. How realistic is sim racing? You mean sim racing as a whole or race room? I guess you meant race room. Depends a little bit on the cars, but I feel like the GT3s are quite well done. I feel like on race room the suspension is a little bit missing, but the suspension is doing some work over some curbs. Maybe you can over push the tires a bit too much, but otherwise I think race room is quite good in terms of GT3 physics. I always use race room to prepare for my real life races. Most of it on race room, not only. Okay. Let's try and win this time.
The estimated strength of field is 5,114.
5.1k, okay. Nice. Super Tours are the best cars on race room at the moment. They're a lot of fun. Nah, I wouldn't say best. I still like the DTM cars most. I think it depends a little bit on track and car. Because that's also when I drove in real life, I literally sometimes went to iRacing, sometimes I went to race room, sometimes I did try to find a mod on rFactor 2. Also AC, of course. But yeah, kind of depends on the car and track. But a lot of the times it's not really that the car has to feel 100% like the real one. Like for real life preparation, for me especially, it's important that you're like fully on, like focused on this track. It's the same way you're driving in iRacing the last day of the week. You'll be much more focused on knowing what you're doing on track than first day of the week, for example. And when you take this mindset of like having driven a track for multiple days now, for hours on end with a lot of experience and time, you're like in the mindset of exactly knowing how to tackle this track, you know, and taking that into then real life races oftentimes can help a lot. Because obviously in real life you need to adjust a little bit as well with how the car behaves. You will not have a car that behaves exactly the same in the sim. But just knowing, just being with the mindset within this track that you're gonna drive in real life, that's what's kind of the most important to me, at least. Like usually I drove different stuff, but then there was this week where I drove, I don't know, I think it was an esports race or so, on the same track. It was a different car, of course, that I drove in real life, but it was the same track, and I performed much better in real life, simply because I did a lot of races or a lot of practice laps on this track beforehand, and my mindset was like completely in sync with this track. Why doesn't the iRating show sometimes? I mean, you can't see it, but for me in the black box, Niklas's iRating just has, like, it's not displayed. It just has 3 dashes. Unlimited amount of iRating. Hanuman. Why am I so much slower in the corners? Very true. Yeah, I don't get it. I feel like I'm maximizing the corners, but still, he maximizes them more. My brake is set to like, I think 40 or 50 kilograms, not too much, not too high. Could be, but I think he usually stays closer to me when he's behind me, so skill issues on my part. But again, I think most of the time I lose is on throttle. I think I'm just too late everywhere. Tiny bit. We do not kill people here. Well, basically the lap times you see right now. So like a 8:07 are really good lap times. But even a 8:10 is very good as well. So in that area, I would say a 8:10 is a good lap time. Everything below that is a really good lap time. I mean, above that it gets, yeah, maybe not as good then. .97, yeah, then you already are on very good lap times. Then it's just about finding details. GT3, no idea. Not ideal. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be hard to overtake him in the last lap. Need to be on his tail. And then there's also E2 still. Oh, we've always worked together. Why should I not do it now? Makes no sense to overtake here. This is still quite different to a GT3. I just don't like the GT3s on iRacing. They're not fun to drive. no plans of Daytona 24, no. Maybe something with Yuri or so, let's see. Maybe Yuri, Lasse, myself, and who else? Someone else. Dream team. Yeah, maybe Fluke. Sounds like a good lineup. Okay, if A2 attacks now, it's so over. Okay, I really need to lock in for this last lap. Man. Too many mistakes all the time. Oh no. Niklas is about to win. Oh, finally. Yeah, that was a bit of a mess. No one really was knowing what to do. But everyone was fair. Like no one tried too much now, going into the last corners. Surprised, Niklas had quite a strong draft. Did he get a hit here? His car jumps a little bit to the right. Did he get a hit? Like a netcode? Strange. Yeah, he played it very safe. GG's. Didn't get a hit? I don't know, car looked strange, but GG's. Fair driving all around. I'm quite happy that E2 realized that I have to go off throttle as well, so he didn't punt me off. But yeah, you almost made it. You almost had the perfect draft passed. GG's E2. Good racing. My distance to the monitor is about, I think, 600 millimeters, and FOV is 100. Yeah, fair play, E2. Fair play. Not many people like you out there who would hold back being on their Smurfs. Single screen, yeah. Nice number. True. Ending the year with a win. Ain't that great. What's that now? Oh. What is that game? It also Roblox. I mean, there's iRacing, what is it? iRacing Superstars coming out. Okay. That's it. I'm done. Yuri seems to be driving, so it's gonna be a Yuri raid. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. It was a nice stream once again. I wish you all Happy New Year's. Have fun tonight. And see you in the next year. I don't know if I'm gonna be live tomorrow, but I'm gonna be live for sure on Friday again. So Happy New Year's. Have fun with friends, family, whatever. And See you in 2027, I guess. 2026, of course. Bye.